Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back. We're essentially the final Macross recording for the time being, until they release something new, as we've already covered every single Macross series from Zero to Delta, and then the AU of Macross 2. And we've tried to do as many specials, extras, whatever, that was released for everything, and we've covered essentially everything that we could find that was in English, or English subtitles, I should say. We've done rankings for every show. Most of those we did top 5 episodes for, if they weren't like 6 episodes themselves, because we're not going to rank everything when it's a 6-episode thing. So essentially, we've done just about everything we can. So now we're here at the very end with Macross 2 character rankings, and then we're going to rank the series. Every one of the series and every little thing around it to a point. And you'll see when we get there. So first off, though, we have the character rankings, which, as per, we rank on 5 distinct criteria: distinctive personality, compelling backstory, iconic visual design, emotional resonance, and significant character development. We rank them on a score from 1 to 10. So the least amount a character could get is a 5. The most they could get is a 50. We, of course, also open up these polls to the audience, which means that it comes down to me and Lessons' average put together, and then added that to the audience's average, and then the average of those two put together.
The average of the average of the average.
Yes, but we also like to keep an inclusion extra bit to see how everything comes together. So each one of the characters will have something that looks like Dan here, my example character from Voltace 5, a nobody character that shows up at the very end. I decided, why not? Let's use that image. We'll have a colored bar next to him, like this green bar, except it'll be divided in half. One half will be me and Lessons, the other half will be me and Lessons to the audience. And this is the color coding to those to tell you what they mean. In which case, like, the top half will be me and Lessons, gray if me and Lessons score the character the same, yellow if I score them higher, purple if Lessons scores them higher. The bottom half will be these, which would be gray if the audience scored the same as me and Lessons' average. Black is only there for the audience, doesn't weigh in on the poll. Red if we score the lower than the audience, and blue if we scored higher than the audience. And then, of course, a little added meta that I put in here is the arrows. There'll be 1 arrow that's greater than a 5-point difference between us or us and the audience. 2 if it's 10 or more. 3 if it's 15 or more. I will tell you, Lessons, this is the first time we've had to use a 4 or more arrow situation. Because I believe, and I apologize to you in the audience who may have done this, someone in the audience is unable to be objective about things. Putting it out there. There's not going to be any punches pulled. This will be an argumentative episode. So, just know that's coming. Anything you want to add before we get into this?
No, just wondering how it's all rated.
Alright, starting with F tier. There are no F tier characters in Macross 2.
Interesting.
Does that surprise you? Do you want to fight about it?
No, I don't want to fight about it.
So the Fight an Irishman joke character.
Yeah.
All right, well, D tier then. We got Messina, which we scored the same as the audience, although I scored higher than you by more than 5 points. So Messina would, or could have been a F tier character. I'm not certain. Obviously, I raised them up by 5 points, and the audience kind of agrees with what our average would be, so the audience wouldn't have dragged them down. And the fact that they're a 19-pointer, and I should explain that because I didn't explain that in my opening bit. The points underneath them are their score. If 2 characters are the same score, then effectively they're the same. The order doesn't matter. So Emperor Ignis and Matsui are the same. I should say, obviously, you see here 3 arrows. The audience thinks this guy should have been way higher.
Mm.
You think he should be higher than I think he should be.
But not by much.
Yeah, by 4 points, or 5 points or less.
Yeah.
Which is, there's 5 categories, so literally it's a 1 point difference in every category, essentially. I thought apparently Lord Ignis should have been C tier at least, I guess, if I scored him higher than you. And the audience thought he should have been higher as well.
Mm.
I have no great problem with him being a D tier, though.
Neither do I. I mean, the only thing that I think for both Messina and Ingus is their visual distinctiveness, right? And Ingus is had that sort of bony metal armor, cables connecting to it, and this Messina is just basically like a cyborg head that was,
That's probably
I don't know if
why I
it's-
have like a 5 point difference. I probably scored Messina really high on visuals, and that's it.
Mhm.
Ignis was just nothing.
Nope. Just an idiot.
He is literally the worst of the villains of all of Macross.
Yeah. So far.
Well, there's no other content. So I'm not letting that so far thing go because, the world could end tomorrow, in which case he will have been for all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gambling on something that doesn't exist. C tier. Natasha, 3 points higher the audience. 3 arrows audience. Siori, 3 arrows audience. Wolf, 4 arrows audience. Wendy Ryder, 3 arrows audience. As I said, we had an audience that was not very objective. But yeah, I think this is also going to be the final tier that you're going to see these yellow boxes.
Yeah.
I was very kind to the middle and below.
Yeah.
Wolf, apparently Wolf I thought should have been 5 points higher. You thought Sayori. I don't know why. What is the defining characteristic of Sayori to you?
The fact that she was hitting on Nyx. And she was of the 3 ones. Well, she and Amy were the active of the 3. Natasha was certainly a more of a background character. I wish we had seen more of Natasha. She kind of reminds me a little bit of her the fetus from Macross 7. But,
for me, Sayori had nothing going for her. Legitimately, here's my problem. I don't think Sayori is the one that was hitting on Nyx.
No, if he was.
For one, no one was hitting on Nyx because that's a conversation between the girls. I hope she breaks up with him so I have a chance with Nyx.
Yeah. And she was the one that was hanging with what's her name? I just watched it like a couple of days ago, and now I'm blanking on the name. On Sylvie. When they were chasing around Hibiki and Ishtar, she was on with her, and they were talking.
Big whoop that. I don't know if she even gets any talking parts.
No, she does. Because he's questioning, are they really together, blah, blah. No.
I remember what Natasha does more than Sayori. Amy wins on visual. You can't even argue that you disagree there. We're less than 5 points apart.
True.
Maybe you can argue on the visual thing. I just mean on the where she's at, which is essentially the top of C tier. But, the audience thinks that we're ranking things too low across the board.
We may have some people who are real Macross 2 stands, right? There were some people in comments who were like, "Oh, when are you gonna do Macross 2? When are you gonna do Macross?" The show left a bigger impression on them than it did on us.
You didn't see the numbers. That's all I'm saying. You did not see the numbers. And I tell you, these people were not objective. They were not objective at all.
Hence why I used the Macross 2 Lovers Against Stan type of designation. They really like the show.
That has nothing to do with being objective on a poll. What's a category? I don't know. I just see numbers. That's right. We're leaving we're leaving Macross. I can make fun of whoever I want anymore. I'm not making fun of you guys, by the way. This is me being funny or flippant. Anyway, to B tier. Look at that, Lord Feff. 4 arrows, even though we're up to B tier. Mash, 4 arrows. Dennis. Fucking Dennis. Obviously, you must agree a bit because there's 2 arrows there. For me,
I think
Dennis was a fucking nobody. He like sets Hibiki on his path, but otherwise he's like the drunk guy. Like, kid, you don't fucking understand what's going on here. Now I'm gonna sacrifice my life. I
Yeah.
got nothing to go home for. I'm already drinking midday. What do you think I got left? Again, the dude is in like part of the first episode, and that's it. I don't know why people are scoring him so high. Maybe they're like, here's the thing. Significant character development is usually where I give bonus points for dying in the line of the show. Usually it's like 1 extra bonus point for dying because that's a significant point in your life, right? Otherwise, significant character development is based on everything that you fucking did. What did he do? He pointed the camera, and then they had a conversation about this is what real reporting is. Cool. But you know, our main character is supposed to have already been a reporter. So if our main character is just so much of a fucking idiot that he needs a mentor figure in the first episode to set him on the track he's supposed to have already been on.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there are different types of. I mean, literally, that's what they discussed early in the episode. And what he does is basically paparazzi stuff. It's like, yeah, that might get ratings, but what you really need to know is that the truth. What is the real purpose of what we're supposed to be doing, covering it and all that. And I think that's important. Not enough to give him so many points above what he is right now because he just dies in
You
the
think
episode. But
he's at least 11 points, should be 11 points higher than what he is. So clearly you disagree with your own current argument.
He's at the top of B tier, so
you think Dennis apparently should be A tier or above. And I do not get that argument at all. Again, part of one episode. And he's not like, they're not a historied mentor relationship. Kid, I brought you up when you first wanted to be a reporter. I got your foot in that door. No, it's like, no, you should report on everything, bad or good. People need to see what's going on. Stuff he should already know. Dennis, I do not understand. Like, appearance-wise, he's just some dude. His outfit isn't better than anyone else's, so I think I gave him like a 3 or a 4. He's a porn guy from a 70s porno. He's not cool looking, right? Also, again, significant character development. He died. I think I gave him a 6 for significant character development because he died, but otherwise, what's he do?
Yeah, I think he also reminds me a little bit of my dad. So maybe that's what happened.
Well, when we get a character that looks like fucking Santa Claus, I'll give you one for me. Or I guess ZZ Top meets Santa Claus, which isn't a huge margin of difference. But yeah, no, that's insanity to me. I mean, Wolf I can fucking understand because he does stuff throughout the entirety of the show. Sorry, Wolf is down here, who's also, by the way, a 4-pointer. A 4-arrower. Again, when I say no objective, no ability to be objective, I mean 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. That's not being objective. You're not even looking at the categories at that point, I don't think. I think you're just putting 10s on characters you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I say I don't tell you how to take the pole lessons, I'm like, well, because yours are at least usually reasonable and to some degree. Like, I can understand where you're coming from. When you're just like, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, I got nothing. What do we do with that? Any commentary on B tier?
No, not really.
Hold the energy for the big fight later.
Yeah. I thought Match was going to be at least C tier. I know I rated them higher, but,
Again, 4 arrows. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yes, I know there's more 10s in the category, but I'm assuming that person would have done that. Flippant. I'm not angry at you for reals. I'm just being funny because it's funny what you've done. This is why we have the president we have. I'm joking. A tier. Apparently you thought Hibiki should be S tier. Insanity.
Overall, I do like the character in spite of everything.
Think about all the Macross characters we put in S tier in the past. You think Hibiki stands up with them? Remember, this is
within its own show.
No,
not within that.
No, it's literally the argument I was just about to make to you before you even said anything. This isn't in its own show. These all stand together. If we took the Gundam rankings, we should be able to put the same kind of characters in S tier in Gundam as Macross 2, as Macross 7, as SDF Macross. They're not, literally, if you look at the example on the character form, it lists characters from across anime. It doesn't say only this show. So you're saying Hibiki, if you were to put him in S tier, is, I can't think of examples we have in S, Sayla, is on Sayla's level, is on, who else do we have on fucking S tier? Is on Roy Fokker's level.
I think he's on Hikaru level.
Hikaru was an A tier. So, if that's true, I think, obviously, there's a board right above this one, which is the mixed, the entirety of Macross. So we're going to find out in a minute. I think it would be insanity to put Hibiki in S tier. He does not deserve that honor. End sentence, I guess. I could make an argument for Sylvie being in S tier, but obviously you ranked her higher than I did, and the audience ranked her higher than you did, so clearly, if I could make an argument, I didn't make it in my score.
And even if I rank her higher, I mean, the audience still beat me by 5 points, so
10. 16.
10, yeah, 16, yeah, and same thing in, well, not same thing in Ishtar, but, overall.
Yeah, I mean, Ishtar has motivation, I'd say more than, well, I guess on par with Hibiki, but hers is more important, I feel like. Hibiki's is, we've got to tell the public what the military is hiding. Ishtar's is like, I can save our people.
And the people of Earth, and stop the war forever, so yeah, her is
yeah, just mean they both act on their motivations with the same energy. It's just that Ishtar's is more important. All right, then. As per, who do you think is an S tier? Without
I don't think there's anybody left.
10-minute breakdown, just like 1 minute here. Give me a guess.
I don't think there's anybody left that could be an S tier. I think S tier is going to be empty.
Okay, legitimately, I don't remember. So
yeah, it's not. Macross 2 doesn't have that many characters to begin with.
Da-da-da.
Yeah, it's empty.
Nobody in F, nobody in S. No heaven above or hell below.
I know that I rated people enough to be an F, but clearly people were like, nope, you're not doing that.
Yeah, mostly. Well, to be fair, Messina, our average was the same as the audience's. So, and I only went 6 points above you. Ignis has no arrows, so he would have wound up here either way. Matsui would have been raised up by the audience, which is fucking insane. This dude is a nothing. So yeah, it has to be like Sori may have been down in F tier, if not for the 16 added points.
People love themselves Macross 2 lovers again, I guess.
All right, the great big board. You think Hibiki is on par with Cheryl Name, Renka Lee, Clan, Sharon Apple, Gold, and Freya? I say no. I forgot Roy Fokker is actually top of A tier. Well, top of A tier with Myung, Osamu, Michael, Barrera, Maximilian.
Can we see them all, or I thought you were you avail them all, or because I haven't scrolled yet. I know that you have.
Yeah, I literally brought it up. I don't have the ability to force your camera anywhere. You have to scroll yourself.
No, I'm saying that the reason why I didn't do it is because I thought we were going to do the.
This board is the way we've done every ranking board is that I had the show boards right beneath this one, and we just went this one total. There's too much here. We would spend an hour on just scrolling up through this board, and I still can't get over fucking Graham Holly over here, which is all you.
I think he was the best.
Even he was more the best thing fucking annoying, given what I know it's coming next on our next ranking thing.
And I absolutely despise Dynamite 7. I think he's
Dynamite 7 is bad. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's bad. And you're the one who raised a character from it up to A tier. It's still fucking insane to me. Poor old Pedro over here. How many characters I is better than? I on tier with Alto.
Yeah.
and Sarah. And Mao.
Mhm.
2 out of 3 Names are the same score. On same level as Ishtar. Hibiki on level with Bogue. And Pedro. Ironically. Sadly,
Yeah.
same level as my dude.
Yeah. Lin May.
No. They're 37s. You're jumping up at least 1 point to 38s.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're still in A tier. So
Lin
that's
Min
what I'm saying.
May, as good as Graham Holly, thanks to you. That's something you did.
Well, Catherine is also there as well. And Keith. And I'm the one who put Keith higher, so.
Yeah. Look, I care more about Gamlin than I do Keith. I think Gamlin would beat Keith.
No, he wouldn't.
Based on what?
On the super magical powers they seem to have with reading the wind and all that nonsense. Yeah, no, Gamlin. Gamlin could barely survive that chair that he was strapped in. Like, I can't do this maneuver.
What are you talking about? Gamlin's the one who's out there kicking ass when Basara's doing nothing. He's the one kicking ass when the rest of Diamond Force is failing. He's the one kicking ass when everyone fails. The only time Gamlin loses is when he's on ground face to face with a Proto-Devlin. That's what it takes to make Gamlin to lose. And you know what? The Proto-Devlin, any of them, would defeat Keith.
I mean, yeah, because they're fucking
My
shit-busting
point is you're
kaiju.
saying
Yeah.
that Keith would win to Gamlin super easy. No diff, I think, is what they say in competitions. Not competition. Comparison circles. And I'm saying the only thing that took Gamlin down was literally a god tier entity. So you're giving Gamlin like no credit. I think if Basara didn't exist in that show, Gamlin would have been the main character pilot.
Now that sounds like a good idea. That's a show I would have watched.
You did watch that show. It just didn't happen that way.
I watched a version of the show when that did happen that way.
Well, too bad you're not getting it. You can either watch Macross 7 or Macross 2.
Yeah.
And you watch both, so I'll take that.
You're making Sound Macross 2 even better.
It's your fault that you watched Macross 7. Remember that.
I mean, I gave it a shot. I want to be fair. I want to say, yeah, I'm not going to judge something I haven't watched.
About fairness in a minute.
Yeah. I said, I'm not going to judge something I haven't watched.
Oh, yeah. Well, since we're bringing up fairness and whatnot, let me go find, what's her name? Sasabi, down here at 14. D tier. And the only reason she's not an F tier is because of you. The rapist is up here because of you. Because I thought that we both had the same buy-in of give her straight ones because we don't support the rapist. Both horrible things.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, I'm going to give her a fair shake. Remember that. Remember that you were more willing to give a rapist a fair shake than something else we're going to talk about in a minute.
Okay. Which for some reason has you riled up.
It has me riled up because we had a conversation. What was it? Did we have it on Saturday or did we have it on previous in the week? About fairness in rankings and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And having already done the ranking for what we're about to talk about in a minute. Because it's just, I don't know. The thing that won't come out of my mouth is just not fair lessons. At the end of the day, it's not like we're like submitting this to like some executive in an anime production company. The future of Macross rests on what you two have found. It's not fair, lessons. It's not fair what you backstabbed me this way.
Okay.
Look, I'm just going to say, I'm never going to forget this, is all I'm going to put out there.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what you did. You know what you've
idea. Done. When we get to it, I'll have a lot of questions.
You won't have questions. You'll have to have answers. Also, Immortal Flower Girl.
Yeah. She wasn't much of anything.
I mean, she's
okay,
more
what did
apparent.
she do?
Well, you didn't let me finish. I was literally just about to say she's more in media that we didn't watch.
Oh,
Like,
well,
apparently,
yeah,
novelization and audio drama, she actually has stuff to say. And that's where we find
yeah.
out that she's, like, from the SDF Macross era. So, like, she's friggin' immortal.
Apparently.
And not for nothing, I think we've seen her in a future thing in the background.
Hmm?
I don't
In
remember. I
Delta?
remember, yeah, I think I remember bringing up, well, no, not Delta, but Delta era. Can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure I saw her, though. And not for nothing, it makes sense that I would, because, you know, she looks like a teenager for the last 80 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, the other rapist. Again, I think he is the one, another element of Hibiki transferred into Macross 7.
Wow, that's really. I know that Hibiki shouldn't have done the groping thing, but come on, that's
I'm not even well, part groping thing, but part having a friend drug somebody and then drive them to your apartment, which is what Bobby was about to do. And then it's just very weird to me that Hibiki gives her a drink and she instantly passes out again. I feel like the subtext there, knowing what MASH did, is that he gave her another drug to drink.
no. It just looked. I mean, we never see him slip anything into it. So you just
Yeah,
do
well, we
like a
also never
soda
see
machine.
MASH sneak her out of the hangar to bring her back to the apartment. But
Yeah, but
apparently it's
okay.
something we get told.
What Mash did basically was that she apparently this Ishtar was very nervous, like she was very, so they calmed
No,
down.
Ishtar was
Which
passed
is
out and they slipped her another drink. Another drink, drugs. Anyway, it's indefensible. Stop trying to defend it. You don't slip women things to put them unconscious. Even if you have the best intentions, don't fucking do it. Don't put that on stream either, Lessons. No, you should drug women. That's my stance. What the fuck, man?
I'm not.
If you're not gonna like get on MASH and Hibiki about it, then Bobby gets a clean bill. That's not something that I'm willing to do.
No,
You don't drug women. You just don't do it. I don't care what your reasoning is. Like, if they're not, like, on the operating table flipping the fuck out, and you're like, oh, they're gonna hurt themselves, and you're a doctor with the ability to prescribe medication, no excuse.
Okay, let's move on to the thing.
But nothing left to say about the big old board.
No, I
the
don't.
final ranking of all Macross characters across all shows. All right, well, finally, we have the Macross anime rankings, where we have ranked the different shows across the series and like the mini things about it as well, to the best of our ability, like the number of them that there are. And of course, since these are series that we're talking about, we rank them on different categories, but much like the previous one, they are 5 different categories put together with the same F to S tier ranking. In this case, it's compelling story and narrative depth, memorable characters and emotional resonance, stunning visuals and artistic direction, powerful soundtrack and audio design, and finally, lasting impact and originality. So, I think the best way to handle this is that we start combined, one category, and then we'll move down the line back towards lessons, and then we'll go up a category again so we can see. Instead of doing the, hey, there's this much point difference between it, I thought it'd be easier, or at least more interesting, to show our individual boards alongside the combined total. So at the end, you can see what the channel thought, but then also what each of us thought. Understood?
Let me rip.
All right. Well, combined for F tier. There is no F tier in the combined section. There were no failures in Macross.
I disagree, but sure.
I know you do, because you're a jerk.
Why are you mad about it?
I'm mad about it because it's disingenuous of you. I thought we had a respect between the two of us, but apparently you want to lie to my face when you say you're fair, and especially when you would give that same fairness to a rapist character.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They're different categorizations.
Are they?
You know.
Are they? Because
Yeah,
I thought we were on the same page when I thought, oh, we're both going to give the rapist ones across the board as a stance on what we believe. And you're like, nah, no, even then, there's certain things you can think about them, so I can give them this many points on that and that. And it's like, Anyway, my F tier, nothing. Even the shows I've claimed throughout the entire series to not like, I could not find a reason to give anything an F tier. Because, in fairness, even the shows I didn't like elicit responses, have original stories, etc. Now, lessons. F tier. You might recognize FB7 has 6 points. That means you gave it a 1 in 4 categories and a 2 in another category.
Yeah.
So it had no iconic music, even though it had Frontier's music and Seven's music. It had no iconic visuals, even though it has the visuals of your favorite show. It had...
They didn't do much with it, only then just go to places that we've already seen before. Osam's apartment. So like, okay, we've seen this before.
Well, to be fair, it didn't say what they do with it. It just says iconic visuals. So to say that it gets a 1 in visuals is to say that Frontier should get a 1 in visuals.
Not really.
It's the same visuals. It's the exact same visuals.
If I've seen them before, then,
No, that's what the 5th category is for, about originality and lasting impact. If you've seen it before, then the originality category should handle that.
Okay. Why exactly are you upset?
I'm upset because it's disingenuous.
Why do you say that?
Because here's the thing. I know I'm being flippant in my responses, but I'm also asking the actual questions. You're asking me why I am this way about this? The questions are, it does not deserve a 1 in anything. 1 is typically reserved for, I don't fucking remember it. I don't remember it, so I gave it a 1. But you're saying it is the worst of the worst. You're saying that some of the bullshit we've seen... Oh, God. My ideas aren't coming to me when I say the bullshit we've seen, because I don't want to relegate it to just like Macross stuff. Like, some of the worst anime you've ever seen, you're putting FB7 into that same category because it's movie clip show.
It's movie clip show is something that I never found. I found the whole thing to be a waste of time, to be perfectly honest.
It is your
I know you love it. I know you love it.
No, it's not. No, it's not the category. It's not from the category of I enjoyed it. Like, I did not like Macross Plus. I ranked Macross Plus fairly based on what it is. So that's why there's no F tier on mine, because I looked at them fairly. I did not like this. Like, I gave Macross Plus a soundtrack like 4 or 5. It's like, it's all right as a soundtrack. It's not my kind of music. And then you gave the soundtrack of a show that features your favorite music and my favorite music. Like, you even said during Macross 7 that you didn't really have a problem with the 7's soundtrack.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
And then you gave it a 1 or possibly a 2, making the worst soundtrack of all time. My voice is cracking.
I mean, if you have put Macross Plus as a if you put Macross Plus as an F tier, I wouldn't be upset about it. Like, that'll be your opinion, and I would accept it as.
I don't think you can be the bigger man about this after having gone a week now saying fairness was what you're doing in rankings.
I try to, but then, I also gotta go with my gut too.
Look, I don't want to stay here forever. It's just, this is the thing I've been waiting for a while. Because not for nothing, we're going to come back to this in detail in a minute. So,
okay.
It's just FB7 is essentially the tombstone on my ability to trust your ability to rank shit. Because you're saying, yeah, well, again, I know you love Frontier. Not based on anything on here. I've already told you plenty of times, my memory doesn't go back that far. I don't remember what I've done, because I've did this like before I even did the Macross 2 ranking stuff. You came into this saying that Frontier was like one of your favorites. So I know that Frontier is one of your favorites. So to then say FB7, which is essentially the framework of Frontier, looking at a clip version of 7, is to say the animation style of Frontier sucks. It's a 1. the music of Frontier sucks. It's like a 1. I'm assuming you must have given it. What do you remember what you gave your 2 to?
I don't remember what I gave my 2 to. No.
Also, 2 it's a funny word.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just that you put 1s in categories that if you believed it, you would put it. Frontier should be down here. So I just don't understand it from the point of being able to believe you.
I mean, it's simply put, you got 7 in my Frontier, and I would like to keep them just separate. And once you did that, it's like, oh, you reminding me of something I would like to forget. Thank you very much.
See, again, if you had put the rapist in full 1s, like I thought you were going to, and I thought you were going to be with me on that one, I would understand this, because this would follow on previous things. Again, this shouldn't be.
I loathe the situation. I do. The thing is, I think that character had potential, and then they.
But also point out that before you had said that Macross 7 would be better shorter. And FB7 is quite literally the shortening of Macross 7.
Yeah, but it's a clip show, so it doesn't.
It's not a clip show if it's the shortening. It'd be the same thing if we watched a Macross 7 movie and it was an hour long instead of the collected time span of all of the episodes put together.
Yeah, but it's not. In this case, it doesn't improve the experience whatsoever, because it's not like the remake movies of like Do You Remember Love or A False Songstress. Like, okay, we have, or even the ones for Delta where like, okay, we see that we have some issues here. Let's deal with those issues and see what we could come up with. It's like, oh, okay, you took the same material and improved some things. Not everything, but improve some things. Like, okay, this is better. If they'd done that, I'm like, oh, this is a compilation 7 that actually addresses some of my issues, then sure, I would have ranked it high. But it's just like, yeah, remember 7? Here's 7 again. I'm like,
except
thanks?
with the framework of your favorite characters.
It doesn't matter, frankly. You said the framework, but it doesn't matter. The framework doesn't add anything to it.
So I'm just thinking if in the future I should do one of those what's the show? Family Feud? Yeah, Family Feud. Giant X over your top. This is just a failure. Lessons. Like, every time you think I have been incredibly wrong about a thing and wanted to educate me on something, this is not how this should work. Lessons. Ones across the board should be something you forgot who the character was because they were so unimportant, not because vindictiveness. Sorry, apparently I've lost my ability to scroll up and down. There we go. Come on, mouse.
Are you going to combine again?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. My mouse failed me at some point in the middle of my thing. All right, D tier. Scroll back out a bit. Macross Dynamite 7. That's why I didn't have a complaint that you put Dynamite 7 at the bottom. My complaint is that you put Graham in A tier. The dude.
I mean,
sucks.
7 would have been an okay story. Not great. Okay story. No, Dynamite anyway. Because the intro song was catchy. It was very repetitive, so that kind of killed it a little bit. But it had a solid 90. Like, yeah, I can get into it. And the visuals were good. And the whole chasing the whale thing, yeah, I mean, as a sort of, this is the final story where they're just going to go out doing this. At best, at worst, it's just more of the same because it's bizarre. But I actually like the whole whale, the Ahab angle. I actually liked it.
I have seen plenty of Ahab angles in TV shows, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. Not a good one. This isn't a good one. Again, I'm not flippant about the Graham thing. It's just that weird, why is he up here? He does not deserve to be up here. He is in a bad show. Like, I don't like the Dynamite 7 opening that much, only because it's a Macross 7 property, and Macross 7 is filled with the kind of music I do like. So the Macross Dynamite 7 opening song is just low-tier Macross 7 music.
I mean, I told you the only song that I really like about Firebombers. The other ones are. I mean, I will not stab my ears with pencils, because I'm hearing the
like
the
I would with
7
Macross
soundtrack.
Plus or Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Not
so
Macross property, but
yeah, I wouldn't do this. Like, oh yeah, okay, And if you repeat it, and I was like, oh, okay, I remember that song. Okay, cool,
again,
cool.
I would say
Right.
that they are the
But the one I
most
liked the much was
successful Macross band.
Macross FX2, which he does. They do the intro for that song, which is a video game. I actually like that. I didn't know there was Fireball. Let's go, da, 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 let's go. I actually like that song. Probably the only one I really remember from them.
Well, obviously, Macross 7. Macross Dynamite 7 is the worst of Macross 7. Has to be for our combined totals to put it in D tier.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my D tier. Nothing. I actually really like Macross. Let's just scroll over to Lessons so I complete that thought. Unlike Lessons, who's a fake fan,
What do you mean it's a fake fan?
I don't even put the Macross shows that I don't like in D tier because I respect the amount of the categories that we made for this. I respect that they have something to offer, if not for me, because I'm not putting it myself completely into that. I'm trying to be objective about it. Oddly, something you said you would try to do. I guess that's really it.
You know what this reminds me is when Americans and sadly that would also include Puerto Ricans, I guess, because we have
you are also American. Don't forget that. I don't think they're letting you go, Lessons. They're not going to let you go. You had the time to vote, and apparently it's not going to happen anymore.
When they see a rating for video games, like, oh, it's on 7 out of something, which is 70%. It's like, oh, that's like, no, that's too low. Oh my God, how can you give that?
Here's the thing, Lessons, is I'm not criticizing the Institute. I'm criticizing you. I'm criticizing the person I've been on this journey with the entire time, who have experienced many different polls with up until now. And this feels like a betrayal to the polls we've taken so far.
Also, I'm harsher than usual to everything. Like, you see my polls. I given characters all that you haven't done. So I'm hard when it comes to just grading everything. That's my trend. So you shouldn't be surprised about this. I'm surprised that you're surprised that I did.
No, the FB7 is the surprising thing. Because again, that is off the charts bonkers. That your favorite show, because that is, again, more of a Frontier movie than it is a 7 movie. So you're giving Frontier straight ones and then going to turn around and say, no, I really like the animation style of Frontier. 1. So, it doesn't make logical sense. You're like, that's my favorite of the two twins. The other twin's garbage. They're identical. No, that other one's copying the first one. Bullshit. Kick him out of the house. They should live in the doghouse, that fucking piece of trash. What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
God.
All right. Well, back to combined, since I don't want to see your 7 hate anymore. Sorry, obviously some of these are wider categories, so I'm having a hard time figuring out where the top is without spoiling the next category up. So yeah, 7, Galaxy's Calling Me, FB7, 7 itself, and then Macross 2 are all C tier shows in our combined scoring.
To be fair, I should have, because I didn't remember the last episode. Now that I've seen this episode, because we did this before we watched the whole series again.
Well, you did.
I should have given.
You did. I couldn't have ranked Macross 2 yet because I hadn't seen it, so I had to wait until we had seen it, and that's why I was waiting to do all this thing. So I came back after I had.
I should have scored at least a D, not a C.
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that last
I think
episode
I prefer Macross 2 to Macross Plus, in fact. Well, I don't know. I'm saying that off the top of my... Because again, this isn't a ranking where we just put them in order, right? I didn't say, hey, put all these like from 1 to 13, put them in an order. No, we try to be objective. I tried to be objective and rank these things by, standards. So that's why they're in this S to F category instead of my number one, the way we would do like top 5 episodes, say, right?
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, so I haven't really put any thought to Macross 2 versus what I would think to be my lowest. But then again, on my side of the list, you haven't even seen one thing yet, so I didn't think anything was F to D tier. I guess let's go ahead and look at mine and see if anything comes up in C tier. I'm assuming it does. Again, I can't remember. Oh, there we go. Macross 2 was my lowest ranked one. Never mind, I take it back. Macross 2, apparently, according to my score, isn't better than Macross Plus, because Macross Plus isn't even here. Yeah, 2012 kind of sucks as a movie.
I love it.
It's like 5 minutes of actual stuff, and then the rest of it's music video. What's the content there? Yeah, the music's fine, but there's one category on our top 5 ranking things that's music. The rest of it's visuals. Macross, do you remember Love? Covers the visuals, so it's the same as that. But all the rest is like, what's the narrative, right? It's the Mega Road launching, which is 5 minutes at most.
Yeah.
There's no story to Flashback 2012 because you know what it is? It's a flashback. You're shitting on clip show stuff, but you're worried about Flashback 2012.
It does have original animation because the whole thing is most of it is like her in the room, and it's extended. It reminds me of not quite because that has actually a more complete narrative to be sure. What was the Daft Punk one? That was all music.
Which one?
And
oh, you mean
Interstellar?
Yeah, Interstellar 555.
555. Yeah, that one had a storyline. I will tell you, complete storyline. So I'm not gonna say no. This one did, and just like the other one, but it kind of reminds me of that, right? That sort of all music video storyline. Like it's Ming-Mei remembering he kind of got to that point to leave with the Mega Road. So yeah,
I'm just saying compare it against all the other movies, which is complete narratives and aren't extended music videos. Like again, Macross 2 loses a butt for not, going anywhere. And I was not a fan. Well, sorry. I realize Galaxy is Calling Me is down here pretty low. I was going to say I'm not a big fan of Dynamite 7, but apparently Dynamite 7 was 4 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
No. Galaxy is Calling Me is like a 20-minute thing. Galaxy is Calling Me is great because I love Pedro. Pedro is a great child character in the Macross franchise.
Yeah, he was cute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I love Pedro, but the idea that Dynamite 7, while being, I think, worse, there's more of it, so what it loses in quality and makes up for in quantity, which can sometimes be enough if the quality isn't so bad as to decrease the amount. Like, if you were to enumerate quality versus quantity, if every episode was like 0.1 enjoyment, then 20 episodes is essentially, that much. My brain shit itself when math was starting to become involved.
Point one would be 2.1, right?
No, it'd be 2.
20 episodes. Yeah, 2.
Yeah, versus if you have one thing, say one episode that I'd say is like 5 enjoyment, then one episode at 5 enjoyment is a 5, versus 20 at 0.1 is a 2. So I would say my enjoyment of Macross 7, The Galaxy is Calling Me, may have been like at a 10 for like the 20 minutes that I got, but Macross 7 Dynamite might have been like a 5 per episode, and like at 6 episodes, it's just more to enjoy. Anyway, let's look at your C tier, where I think you started to be honest with yourself. Lovers Again, which you thought was better than the entirety of Macross 7. And oddly, Delta, which I don't think deserves a C tier, but again, it's not to me as egregious as 7, because I'm not like, I understand your hatred of 7. Well, I don't understand it. You've said it a lot, so I know where it's coming from. Delta, I didn't think that you disliked that much.
I mean, if you have Delta distinct from the movies, then I think Delta was not hatred. It's this.
I didn't say
disappointment.
I didn't say hatred. I said I didn't you disliked it that much.
Yeah, disappointment. I actually would put Lovers again at D tier alongside 7, and Macross Delta would probably stay in that category.
I don't think.
Also, I think there are other
C
better
tier is
shows
a
as well.
hatred tier. I think F tier is obviously a hatred tier.
So yeah, it's disappointment tier.
I would say C tier is a passing grade when it comes to shows. Technically, D tier is a passing grade in the American school system. So
yeah,
I don't know. It just seems weird to have Delta down that low. Again, I think C tier is where you're being honest. All right, let's look at B tier for the combined ranking, which is where 2012 winds up due to the combined scores, but also Delta, which, should obviously tell you that I must bring Delta up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Passionate Walk here.
I mean, by 1 point.
No. I mean, I don't know about it. Does it get brought down by me? Does it get brought up by you? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I just don't know. Passionate Walk here is obviously the lesser of the two movies because it's just the show in movie form. Zeta Live is the second one, which is new stuff. All right, I guess nothing else to say about that. So, my B tier, which is seemingly most of Macross. See, Macross Plus is a B tier for me.
What I'm surprised is you put 0 in B tier.
Because it's an element of the ranking system. Obviously, I super love 0. But the ranking system, right? I have to be objective to it, which is to say, how original is this? How much does a soundtrack slap? And it's like, well, really, objectively, not that much. When I compare it to, say, my favorite soundtrack, which is Macross 7, I think what it turns into is which of these shows exemplifies what I like in a thing. So, like, Macross 7 is the best soundtrack of all of Macross to me. So, obviously, that's going to rank higher than the rest. But does Macross 7 have a great visual style? Not really. So another show is going to exemplify that, and Macross 7 is going to get brought down a bit. Is Macross 7 fairly original? Well, it was more original before I'd seen Macross 2. Until I realized, all this stuff gets stolen by Macross 7. Obviously, I thought Macross Plus Movie Edition was better than Macross Plus, something I didn't realize until I did this.
At 1 point again.
Do You Remember Love is exactly the same as SDF Macross, in my opinion, I guess. Macross Delta is exactly the same as the movie Macross Delta, I guess. I guess that's what that proves. And Dynamite 7 finally shows up, which I guess I went through a whole thing about saying how much I didn't like it. Alright, your B tier. Sorry, we already did C tier. That's right, the category is only so big because I'm fucking doubled down on a bunch of stuff. You almost thought that Zeta Live was almost the same as the first movie.
I mean, they're different, but I actually like Rational Crew because I like what they did with the narrative. Like, of the two, that wasn't disappointing compared to what they did with the series. I felt that they have done that as the series. That's the way the storyline had gone. Like, what's his name, being a pilot already and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, I like it. I did like a couple of I like some of the early and mid episodes, but then
if I was wanting to start a fight, I would say that it's almost as clip showy as FP7. They changed like 3 things.
Yeah, but those things were pretty good.
They didn't change that much, though, to the story. It runs almost exactly the same as the show.
Well, no, for one thing, they did change the whole. They get captured, and
yeah, it's one of the 3 things.
And that was a pretty big change, right? Very important.
Was it? Because it was pretty. I mean, it is important. Not important. It is a big difference, but does it change that much?
Oh, it's more logical. It makes sense of what happens in the aftermath of that battle. It highlights also the death of Mercer in a way. It's like, yeah, Mercer sacrificed.
Messer
Killed Mercer.
You've been watching too much D&T stuff, I think.
Yeah. And yet this is what happens afterwards, where in the oh yeah, all this happened. Oh, by the way, you're just back home. I was like, how the hell you get away from this? This is the perfect time for you to be captured, right? So I think it's you know, the
Not
whole rebellion thing also makes more
not
sense
different
in the
enough
movie.
for my taste.
The way the other Windermerians rebel, cleaner and better, right, than what happened in the show. Like in the show, it's like, oh, we're gonna rebel because the king said he disobeyed. That's it. Okay, cool. Let's go. We're still mad at you, which kind of makes sense in its own way, but
For me, they're just two of the same story. They're two
also
stories with like a couple of differences between each other, and then you just decide which version of that do you like. But otherwise, they're just the same. I think Insanity put Zeta Live on the same tier as Flashback 2012. I cried for Zeta Live. Zeta Live hit me like deep. Macross Flashback 2012 is a music video.
Also, I think there's also the power of nostalgia with 2012 that you don't do. So I think that's also what color it as well.
Cool. Where does that show up on the rank? Originality? I'm just saying.
So
Like you said, Zeta Live hit me deep. Flashback 2012 was a music video. What are we at? A tier on the combined. Again, most of it.
Yeah, I can see that if there is anything at S tier, it would be pretty thin. Actually, probably there's no more shows left to put in S tier. It probably is going to be empty.
Okay, Alexander Macross. And Macross saw that there was no more shows to conquer. Zero getting up to A tier in spite of me somehow. Zeta Live getting up to A tier because of me, I guess. Better than Macross Plus Movie Edition.
I certainly probably put Macross Plus higher as well. And the two Frontier movies.
I see I made a mistake because I see the false songstress twice. Do you?
Yes, I do.
At the same time, they're the same exact ranking, so that just means the Wings of Goodbye would be the same, which is weird because I think objectively Wings of Goodbye is a better movie. For the same reason that Zeta Live is a better movie, despite what some may think. And of course, this goes opposite of what I think about the Macross Plus. Somehow, I guess it implies that you must have put Macross Plus, the show, higher than the movie. By enough of a margin to overcome my Macross Plus by, I guess, greater margin than 1 point.
No, also it's combined, so it could be that the audience also liked it more.
No, there was no audience involvement. This is just you and me.
Okay.
Yep, and Do You Remember Love and SDF Macross having the exact same rank, which I don't know. I don't agree with that, but I think SDF. Do I think SDF Macross is better than the movie? Yes, I do. Do I? Sorry, my thing isn't scrolling. Nope, apparently I think they're exactly the same. Whatever. Again, this is the element of what do I think overall versus what do I think on a mathematical score, and apparently mathematically I think they're the same. Whereas if you asked me just point blank, I would say, no, the show is better, obviously. We've had this discussion where I said that Pros D watched Do You Remember Love? And he's like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, of course, you've got to watch the show. All right, my A tier, which is probably the best of all of Macross. Wings of Farewell, there it is. I clearly had the image. I don't know what happened to it. Apparently, even though everything I just said about the second movie being objectively better, I still put them the same score. Macross 7, of course, being an A tier Macross show. Just on soundtrack alone, my guy.
Yeah, that's an opinion, alright, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's better, more valuable. Anyway, Frontier being a 40. So Frontier, I thought, was apparently better than the movies objectively by score. I mean, like I said, by feel, without doing a poll, I would say Wings of Farewell was better than the show. But apparently, doing the math, my brain says that Frontier was better than the movie. And yes, obviously, even in math, I think FB7 is the best of the best. It's two good shows put together. But some of us can't perform. And of course, Zeta Live, because Zeta Live is like, I think, the only Macross thing I've cried about. Like, what, 2 years now? 2 years since the first time that Macross made me cry? I'm not saying that crying is like the end-all, be-all of emotion. But this is fucking stone-faced reactions. We laugh at everything already, so I think tears is the only emotion that doesn't typically get elicited. I know Lessons hasn't cried about one damn thing that's happened in this whole goddamn show.
No, I cried when at the end of I'll Say It Alive.
I don't remember it.
Say that.
Must have missed it when I was crying.
Yeah.
All right, and then your A tiers, which is Zero. Weirdly enough, I sang the praises of Zero the whole fucking time and then put it down in B tier. The weird thing math does. Do You Remember Love? And you also thought Do You Remember Love and SDF Macross were the same.
Yeah.
Weird. It's just weird. I think you would be the one saying Do You Remember Love is better than SDF Macross, but push comes to shove, you put it the same. I just went through this whole tirade.
The ranking, because I would say the anime.
I'm just saying, I went through this whole tirade of saying that too, and then looked over here, and then mine was the same. So we both have said that before. That, well, actually, I said the opposite. I said the show was better than the movie, and then got proven wrong by my own math. And then you've said before that you thought the movie was better than the show, and have been proven wrong by your own math. It's bit us both in the ass. You thought Wings of Farewell, the thing I've said 100 times now, was better than the first movie, and at least proven right on your score.
By 1 point, but yes.
Well, still, it's a point. Doesn't exist on mine. Mine are the same. So you gave Macross Frontier 43, I gave it a 40. So, ironically, if we were putting this in like a numbered chart, your 43 would be between my 44 and 42. So FB7, Macross Frontier, Zeta Alive. Well, to be fair, if you look at it, my 44 is the highest rated thing on the chart. Because you ranked SDF Macross and Do You Remember Love 43s. Well, technically Macross Plus Movie Edition and Frontier. You have 4 43s. Mine just kind of goes 44, 42, 40, 38. I'm working in twos. All right, well, let's see. You think there's anything in S tier in the combined?
No, don't think so. I don't think there's any S tiers, period.
All right, so you think there's no S tier in mine either?
Macross 7 was the one that you put in A tier.
Currently, FB7 is my highest ranking Macross thing. You think I would not have put anything above FB7?
Yeah, they're both Frontiers. I
have all 3 Frontiers.
You got the Delta move. Well, I guess you would have Say It Alive is also here, so I don't see anything you could put above it. Zero is down here, so yeah.
And what about you? Do you think there was anything you would have put above SDF Macross and Do You Remember Love and Macross Plus Movie Edition and Macross Frontier?
Well, Macross plus the series.
Yep. Macross plus the series. Which means that, again, if we were putting this in numbered order, it would go Macross Plus, FB7, SDF Macross, and Do You Remember Love? I mean, of course, obviously, I disagree about Macross Plus.
Yeah.
But I was objective about it. Also, apparently, I thought Movie Edition was better. I don't know why. I don't remember why I scored them 1 point different. I guess maybe because Movie Edition is shorter. I guess. I don't know.
Not so painful. Not as painful for you, I guess.
Well, probably also the element that we watched Macross Plus the show first. And every problem I had with Macross Plus that I didn't understand from the beginning, I then got to watch from the Movie Edition, knowing that the things I had problems with weren't actually problems. You know, the idea that they introduced a character as a sexual assaulter, and it turns out that that's just a memory thing. And, you know, it's hard to have that as like, it's like if we had Sasori from the beginning, of Macross 7 or Macross Dynamite 7. And then we're like, God, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to this show with a rapist at the start of every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I would say that probably because of what happened with rewatch Macross Plus is not even higher, and it is still S tier for me. But it should have been at least A tier to think about it. If we're just going by vibes, because I have revalued that scene and also the implications. The Centrati, because they waffle on Centrati, they're inherently violent. And the way they put it in Plus is like, oh, it's a medical condition it has to take pills for. So are all Centrati like that? But then we saw the original series where that wasn't the case. It was more of a cultural thing. So yeah, that it's still kind of problematic. The whole violent, Centrati / violence, it might be if it were a personal thing that he had a problem, then yeah, but otherwise.
Well, it's also that Macross Plus doesn't kind of fit in with the rest of Macross. It's like the MTV anime version. Well, like I said, Macross Plus just doesn't fit in with the rest of Macross. It's like it's like MTV Macross, like Macross After Dark. Baywatch Nights of Macross.
Which is ironic because I feel kind of the opposite. I feel that that's what I feel about 7, that it doesn't fit into the rest of Macross. It feels like the Saturday morning version of Macross. Like, oh no!
I mean, except that you're proven wrong, because I think Frontier is more like Macross 7 than it is Macross Plus. Also, Delta is obviously more like 7. I think, like, if you look at it from the lens forward back, that everything is more Macross 7 than it is everything else.
Well, I would say Frontier is more Plus than 7. I would say Delta is more 7 than Plus.
No, Frontier is more 7 than Plus. I would say SDF Macross is more Plus than 7. That's only because it's the first thing and it doesn't know where it's going with it. So it goes serious and then it goes phantasms. Like, it doesn't know where it's going with this shit. And then, obviously, the movies and everything are just an extension of that. I would say maybe Do You Remember Love is more like Plus. But
Zero, I think, is more Plus in the sort of greediness of war.
Because again, Plus is like dark and MTV liquid television shit, versus Zero is let's explore what the magical things can do and where we come from alien exploration, and the music heals everybody. Who else has music that heals everybody? I'm just saying. The Zero.
Yeah, there's also the destruction of the village when you have literally a kid crying as the bodies of her parents and everybody knows.
You know who else cries?
In front of him.
You know who else cries? Pedro.
Yeah, but Pedro's a little kid. He just cries because he's scared.
No, Pedro's standing out in the middle of a musical battle between two giant mobile suits. I don't want to use mobile suits. It's the best way to describe these things. He's standing out, well, because it's a Batroid versus a Valkyrie. So, I mean, essentially, the Batroid is a mobile suit. But, but my point being is that he's crying in the middle of this giant battlefield. Not for nothing, killed his father. So, yeah, just having realistic fight shit doesn't make you more Plus than anything. Macross 7 has real fight shit, despite the fact that it goes over the top in a bunch of places. And all the other shows kind of go over the top in places the same way Macross 7 does. The only one that doesn't is Plus. So, like I said, Macross Plus is an outlier. And what if we gave MTV the money to make a Macross show? I'm just saying, if we're doing a vibe check, Macross 7 fits the vibe, especially the back end vibe. And I think you can make that apply to Zero, because Zero comes out, obviously, later. And Frontier has that just like, let's have a little bit of fun with this, more than Plus does. Plus isn't trying to have fun. Plus is trying to tell a drama. Yeah. And Frontier fits more in with the happy, fun side of things that 7 is trying to do.
The political assassinations and this dying and the betrayals and the human experimentation and, yeah. Sure.
Oh, yeah, because, 7 didn't have any human experimentation, like when they gathered everyone together and started draining all of the life force in a human fucking pyramid of death. That didn't happen. Or how about all of the planet of death? where everyone killed each other because they were all Zentradi and they went fucking mental when a proto-devlin entered their midst. And, just having a little bit of death and destruction doesn't make you edgy.
No, actually, only a few people kill each other. The other ones were taken by to be put in that pyramid.
No, there was a lot of dead bodies on the planet. We see that when they go down there and they're like flying through. No, it's implied. Like it's implied there's a lot. We can only see a few because we're flying past them.
No, actually, what they say is they didn't find a lot.
You know what, Lessons? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Ah.
Oh, I don't give a shit because your impetus here is that no, you're wrong about this thing because it's that other thing that you just said too. You're just waiting the first half that there's death on the planet for the pyramid of death, which is also the thing that I was saying happened. So it
actually wasn't a pyramid. The whole plan was to keep them.
You're taking out of column B to put it into column A, and both of columns are my point. So I don't give a shit which side of the column you're choosing to put shit into. You're still pouring both things into my cup.
Well, those were the tiers. And the only one that got in, the one that said S tier was me. Also F tier as well. So I would say overall, it is actually fair because I had a wider spread across. I covered all the territory.
Did you?
Did.
Actually, I think I have a wider spread. Despite not having a bottom tier and not having a top tier, everything else is, quite across. I guess you're arguing from a wider spread. Because I consider your bottom spread to be bullshit. So it's just like cutting that off. And I don't know that Macross Plus being an S tier makes it any that much wider. Damn it, my Zoom doesn't work anymore. 49. Well, it is pretty high. But I mean, that's also the expected. You said from the beginning that Macross Plus was your favorite, and then you kind of went back and forth with SDF, Macross, and Frontier being your favorites too.
2 and 3, yeah.
I don't know that being wider is a good thing, though. Well, I mean, if you say you like the entirety of Macross, then having a definite way above the top and then a definite way below the bottom implies that you have these massive preferences across the series and you hate some parts of the series. Whereas having like a very
I'm not obligated to like it all at the same time. Some things I really.
My final. I understand what you. I guess not if I'm right here. I'm guessing what you're saying is if you read a thing for long enough, eventually the quality is going to get less than what you actually enjoyed at the beginning.
Yes, but also that you will find things, some things you're not going to like, some things you are going to like very much. The spread could be beginning to end, but it could be beginning good, then great, then down again, and then, back. So.
But my point was more so that my collective group shows I guess at the end of the day, I kind of just like Macross the same-ish all around. Which I guess would say that I'm actually a fan of Macross, despite what a viewer may think, based on comments.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, I find that your spread, since you brought it up, the only reason I'm bringing it up is you brought it up, is that you dislike a bunch of Macross and you like other Macross.
Can't say otherwise. That's the truth.
No. Sorry, just the thought process one last time if I wanted to go at you again, and I don't. As I said, that's why we recorded this one last, because I felt like it was going to ruin the rest of our recordings having this sit here. But now I'm just double taking if we should do one for Gundam, obviously, like a 1-year war, the show's in the 1-year war. But again, I'm not as invested, I don't think. For some reason, I'm really invested in FB7. Like, I thought it was a top of my A tier, which is why I felt it that much more insulting, because it's like, I know you don't like peanut butter, but it is literally the Reese's Cup thing. Well, you got chocolate in my peanut butter, you got peanut butter in my chocolate. Oh, best of both worlds. And I thought, this is obviously the thing that we're going to come together on. You're not a big fan of Macross 7, but it's your favorite characters, and obviously I clearly enjoyed Frontier. It's in my A tier as well, but it was more your thing. So it's like, this is the thing we're gonna reach across the aisle and shake hands, and you're like, I killed your dog in your driveway, and then I shat on its corpse. I was like, guess that bill's not getting signed today.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my
Why do you think I'm so
God.
angry?
It's just.
It feels like you went all spiteful on what I thought was the best.
Let's leave it out there because that image is
All right.
day of the night. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So once again, I've been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?